Welcome to Measure Sport on the show where we eat, we drink, we live sport. Literally everything about sport. Yes, it's that interesting. We're back with a bang. And it's a great one as we introduce the Premier League review with Measure Sport. My name is Taiwo Olatuja. I'm definitely not alone in the room. I've got amazing guys in the building to my close right. Habeeb, nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I mean, it's always a pleasure to do this with you.
Absolute pleasure, my brother. And to my far right, I've got my lookalike and one of my greatest friends, or my best friends, as you can call it, Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to. This is what we love doing. We enjoy it. We just want to entertain, our viewers and just have fun on the show.
So guys, this is Mesh Views Premier League Weekend Review, and trust me, you can catch us on all social media platforms. It is Mesh Views space, as easy as that. And we go straight into it. And definitely, where do we start from? So many games over the weekend, but hey, we have to start from the one at Stamford Bridge. Wow. Chelsea won, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. It looks like Brighton definitely brightened the days of their fans at the Stamford Bridge Stadium. But hey, it's really, really great for Chelsea. It's somehow, 8 points from a possible 18 points. In 5 games, they've gone on to lose 3, drawn 1, they've won 1. Where did it all, go wrong? Don't worry, we've got amazing guys who will definitely answer the question. I come to Habeeb. Habeeb, Chelsea from the postseason going all out to win the Club World Cup. A lot of people argue that it was a fluke, but trust me, they did really well. They had a lot of enthusiasm going into the season, and some of their fans even said, "Look, we can go for the title now." But trust me, it's been a terrible start to the season for Enzo Maresca boys. Tell me, where did they all go wrong for Chelsea?
Well, I believe there's something fundamentally wrong with Chelsea. Although it's a little bit subtle. And they're winning matches last season, and they're playing fine. When you look at the way they've been playing, compared to the likes of Manchester United, I can't help but to just mention their names. But they've been doing fantastic well in terms of playing. Well, football is all about results, no matter how good you are. I'm talking about the games against Brighton. When you look at the past fixture with this team, I would say I'm not surprised with the outcome of the match. They've met like 3 times in 2025 alone. They've not even gotten a draw. You understand? It's a clean sweep for Brighton. But then for the majority part of the game, they dominated the game. I'll be sincere with you. The first 45 minutes, they were in charge. And for some part of the second half too, until Chaluba got the red card, which actually shifted the momentum in favor of Brighton. And before you know it, they considered 3 goals. But then I think we need to share the blame here. People are calling for, the head of Enzo Maresca, and some people are saying he's the player, but let's look at it. I'm going to be starting with their defense. They have Chaluba, they have Badiashile, they have Fofana, they have Hato, they have Colwill, and I think they still got someone as well. Tosin. Now let's look at Chaluba. Chaluba was actually shipped to Crystal Palace last season because he was surplus to requirement. But one thing led to another. They needed someone. They called him back. Who is now the leader in that defense now? Let's be real. I'm talking about the CBs. I'm not even talking about the fullbacks. He's a leader, right? Then we moved to Tosin Adarabioyo, who was actually released by Fulham, a middle table football team. They signed him, and to be sincere, when they got him, I was actually a little bit happy for them. To have him as a squad player is not a bad thing, you understand? But now he seems to be one of the most favored centre back in that team. Then let's talk about Fofana, who has been, unfortunately for him, the injury has not allowed him to, play his part. He has always been in and out of the clinic. Then from him, we move to Badiashile, who has never for once convinced himself, you and I, that he has what it takes to play for a top team. Do you understand? Then we have Hato, who is coming with no Premier League experience. Now, look at that defense. Let's be realistic. Do you see them starting for any other top teams in Premier League? The answer is no. So you can't expect. Now, attack is going to win you matches, but your defense is going to win you trophies. So if you are going to be challenging with the top, the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, or PSG, like their fans believe that they are back and they are even thinking they are in the same level with those people, you can't go anywhere with those defense. Do you understand? Then away from the defense, let's talk about Enzo Maresca. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Do you understand? He came in just a couple of, let's say, last season, and he has not been doing bad. Do you understand? But then for the past 3 games, you can see that his in-game decisions has been one of the failures. Now, you need to talk about the management as well. The kind of signing they've been making, I think they got their priorities very, very wrong. Do you understand? Okay, you were going into the summer, you signed the likes of João Pedro, everybody knew you needed a striker then. So you got them, you disposed Jackson. Then you went ahead and be signing wingers. Well, we clearly know you did not need any Susuya to tell you, okay, this backline, you need to sort it. Do you understand? So you are now coming to the new season and everything is obvious for everyone to say, okay, this defense is not it. So now when people are calling for the head of Enzo Maresca, I will just look at them and say, like, see, there's something fundamentally wrong with this, not just about Maresca alone. The management is as if they are signing players to just, for selling sake, they sign so that it's a business for them and they are making money. But what is going on the pitch? So that's it for me.
A fundamental problem for Chelsea, says Habeeb Ajibade. And I move to Kenny real quick. Kenny, for Chelsea, it's back-to-back, red card for their players. The first one was Roberto Sanchez. He had a early bath in less than 20 minutes of the game versus Man United. And Chalobah, worrying signs for Chelsea. And the second question is, do you think this Chelsea can make top 4?
Okay, so let's speak of the red cards, which first word or the only word that comes to mind is, discipline.
Yeah.
You can't be, and that's where I really agree with Ajibade when he said so many things about, he said so many things about Chelsea. You ask questions like, who are their current leaders? Let's take a look at the Manchester United game. All right. Ubemo was almost going to be 1v1,
of course, with the
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He has beaten the goalkeeper already. Sanchez, all he has to do, or all he needs to do, is just stay away from the guy and see if maybe one of your defenders can match up Ubemo, or Ubemo could miss a sitter, or worst or best case scenario, Ubemo scores, and then it's 1-0, 11-11. You can still come back to win the game. And knowing fully well that this is a Manchester United side, permit me to say the worst Man United team in history of football.
Of course, yeah.
You have a chance. But the world is stupid because the way he made the tackle, there is no way on earth. Goalkeepers are usually protected, when you look at them. But when you will watch it again, you'll be like, if there was anything like, if they could give Sanchez double red cards on the spot, they should do it. Yes, because that was most of moment of madness. And your coach came out after the game. You are just lost. First loss of the season. And the coach say, I would rather Mbeumo scores the goal and leave him and let's play 11-11. How many days later? Next week, you play Brighton at Stamford Bridge. 1-0 Chelsea.
You're winning. You're winning, yeah.
You're in your backyard, yes.
Of course.
You can do as you like. You can play with the ball. But a few minutes into the second half, what's it called? Brighton's midfielder was through on goal. Yeah. Chalobah, you have lost your man. Why are you trying to tackle? So you were I don't know if you were ball watching or if you were sleeping when the Brighton guy passed you.
Okay.
The guy was through on goal. Leave him alone. Remember, your coach said, let him score. It's normal.
And they were even.
Why are you trying to tackle, make a stupid tackle again? Because you know that it is
a good scoring opportunity.
Yeah. They will award it a red card, and then you've killed your team. And before we know it,
Brighton went
red card and Brighton. So on that part, discipline, I feel like it's something Maresca needs to talk about them, probably in the performance room on the training ground. He needs to talk to them about it. Guys, you guys need to be smart. But this is where leaders come in. But then that's another talk for another time. Do I see Chelsea competing for the top 4? So if you ask me, my top 4, Liverpool, City, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then there's one team that will just be on the balance. I see Chelsea and maybe 2 or 3 other teams that will rival, that would fight or compete for the number 4 position. If you ask me what percentage would I give them, I'll give them Chelsea to finish top 4, maybe some 30-40%. Yes. So 30,
for me, 40%.
30-40%. Yes.
How about you, Ajibade?
I think I agree with that. I agree with that. Thinking, okay, let's assume they are going to get some things right. I mean, without injury, and maybe in January transfer window, they're bringing a defender, which is going to be difficult because no team will allow their top player go in the winter transfer window. But if they can get that, then the discipline, like you said, if this discipline can be there, I think they should be able to get to top 4.
And when they are going for a defender, right? Chelsea Football Club should go for a leader.
Of course.
A centre half that is a leader.
Of course.
You cannot go to Liverpool and sign Van Dijk.
No, that is not possible.
Personally, Chelsea should be the front runner, for this guy, Mark Guehi. He's a captain.
Yeah.
He's a leader. Premier League experience. What else do you need? You should be going for that profile. Leader, someone that will come in, back others. Look at what he's doing at Crystal Palace.
Well, I mean, interesting one, from the guys on the studio. Very, very interesting. Ajibade, you spoke about something during your first analysis about Chelsea, and you talked about the signings. And ever since the takeover from Todd Boehly and Ebali, it was clear that they had a model, which is to get the brightest young stars and turn them maybe into superstars, or the ones that are deemed surplus to requirements in the future. They sell them off for a good fee, like we've seen with some cases in the past, but they've gone on to sign, Esteval William from Palmeiras, a guy that's been touted the next big thing from the Brazilian league. Neymar Jr. Some say is the new Neymar, which I obviously don't believe in. They signed Jimmy Gittins, who has been shaky in his cameo that we've seen so far. They signed Alejandro Garnacho, the Argentine, who left Man United after so many dramas. They've signed the likes of Esugo.
Cuenda is coming 2026.
The ones that are present right now. There's also João Pedro, who has Premier League experience. There's also Liam Delap. Is it early? I'm going to throw the question to you. I'm starting with you, Habeeb. Is it early to call for the heads of these youngsters? Because most of them, they are youngsters actually.
No, of course. I think it's way too early to call for their heads, because when you look at, I'm going to be starting with Esogo, who has been injured. You have Delap also being injured. João Pedro is not doing bad. Do you understand? Then the likes of Garnacho, I think Garnacho, they are taking their time on Garnacho. He needs to adapt and study how they are playing. It's totally different from where he's coming from. That is Manchester United. Then Gittins, I see, the first time I saw Gittins playing football, I said, okay, you know what? Right there's a talent there, there's a potential there. But this guy appears to me to be a little bit raw. So it's going to need some time, a coach to, refine him into a finished product. It's going to take years, So they have to be patient with him. So if possible, they are patient with the guy. Okay, all is going to come around then. But I think it's too early to judge any of the new signings.
All right, Kenny, briefly.
I mean, it's clear. The model is good, but not every sign will be a Cole Palmer.
Of course.
I mean, the three of us here, our directors and producers, all of us agree, and even our guys watching, that Cole Palmer seemed like a jackpot. All right, not every day, and as we say in Nigeria, no be every day, no be Christmas. So not every new signing will be like Cole Palmer. So the likes of Garnacho, Gittins, and blah blah blah. Yes, they will have flashes, but we know that they are not the real deal yet. And like I said again, not every signing, young players will be like Cole Palmer or be probably like Enzo or Caicedo. So yes, maybe they'll be there here and there, but Chelsea need more.
They need more.
Yes, they need more. But I can't fault the model. The model is cool if you can always get the bright talent. But please, I mean, you need to at least up the ante a bit in your signs and bring in probably like maybe a ready-made, and then just let this guy flow in and then mix and blend the whole thing, and then perfect marriage.
All right. A lot of things said about Chelsea. Some said they need more. They need to get experience, leadership, and all of those things. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to see your comments. And trust me, it's simple. Measure space on all platforms. Please join the conversation and the likes. Yes, we enter the red side of Manchester. Yes, some call them the noisy neighbors. Some say glory, glory, Man United. But hey, Man United had, a weekend to forget. Losing 3-1 to Brentford. I mean, a sad return for Ubelmo, who left Brentford to join Manchester United. I mean, and for Man United, same old story. 9 wins in 33 games. Wow. 12 years post Sir Alex Ferguson. And Man United are still far off Liverpool, far off Manchester City. And even Arsenal has taken over. I mean, what's wrong? What's really wrong with this thing? I'm starting off with Kenny. I mean, Man United spent over £200 million. I think 207.5 million pounds. They signed a lot of attackers. They brought in new players. But what is really wrong with Man United?
I mean, for Manchester United, you can't really. What is wrong? Not just one thing, a lot of things. All right, but maybe I might just mention a few. So quickly, Manchester United right now. You mentioned Sir Alex. For Sir Alex, all right, the guys at the top, the owners, the Glazers family, they failed to, Sir Alex was living how many years? Over 27 years at this club. And, Sir Alex was like the main man. Sir Alex was literally the director, he was the manager, he was the coach, he was everything, was running the football club. The only thing that he wasn't doing was, he wasn't the one pumping his money into the club. And, this man left, won them the PL and all of that. The squad was in a lot of mess. This immediately, I feel like competent owners, immediately, they will rebuild the club, they will build the team, sorry, they would what's it called? They will, transition it from Sir Alex, pre-Sir Alex to post-Sir Alex. These owners will do everything, but they feel that you can talk about the infrastructures and all of that. Imagine it's 2025 where Manchester United had to build a world-class facility. I mean, come on. But hey, so many things is wrong. Ineos came in, let's say over 1 year ago. They've tried to work things out. Okay, let's now talk about Manchester United. I mean, we could spend a lot of time, a lot of hours talking about Man United off the pitch, but let's talk about them off the pitch now, right now. And Ruben Amorim is the face of Manchester United in terms of the football. You look at Ruben Amorim, he's 41-year-old, exciting from Portugal. He did well with Sporting Lisbon. He came into Manchester United, nope. I feel like it wasn't the case of a Pep Guardiola was coming to Manchester United. It was Ruben Amorim.
Of course not, yeah.
You mentioned Man United have signed so many players. What's the problem? The problem is for Manchester United on the pitch right now is the tactics. I mean, people tend to talk about 3-4-3, 4-2-2, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, when we look at Manchester United, we could tell that the press is terrible, the build-up is terrible, the midfield is terrible. All of these things, coach can fix it on the training ground. November, Amorim will be 1 year at the helm. I asked the question, what has it done right at this football club? He came in, Amorim came into Manchester United, right, last season. Ten Hag was fired. 10 games played in Premier League. Amorim had 28 Premier League games to play. How many wins did he get there? How did he improve the team? He took the club to the Europa League final. We saw it. Trust me, there was no disrespect to Tottenham, but there was no way a Tottenham side should beat Manchester United in the final, European final, where it happened. Fine. The owners backed Amorim. We as sport guys, we're expecting, okay, Amorim goes into the summer break, fix the whole thing tactically, and try to present a different team on the pitch. But guys, I can tell you, I'm not even sorry to say that it's the same match Amorim Manchester United from his first game in charge. That is what we're still experiencing after 33 Premier League games. And you check the wins, you check the loss, you'll be like, what is this guy still doing at the club? So if you ask me, Man United number one problem right now on the pitch, right, it is the coach, Ruben Amorim.
Manchester United problem, Ruben Amorim says
playing players out of position.
Right.
Come on.
Wow. Interesting one, interesting take. I mean, that's a lot for Ruben Amorim. But I have to shift the attention to Ajibade right now, and I would like to ask him a really good question. And also, you, our beautiful and amazing viewers, really want you guys to step in and tell us what you think about Ruben Amorim. So for Ajibade, real quick, I need you to tell me, there's a lot right now. Even before Kenny said, we know, 9 wins in 33 Premier League games. That is not the level for Manchester United.
Of course.
For Ruben Amorim, what do you think can save him from getting the sack? Like, what's that scenario that you think it would be like a general agreement that, let Ruben Amorim keep his job? What do you think is going to happen or can happen to save him from getting the sack?
To be sincere, I do not think there's coming back for Ruben Amorim, and I feel bad saying that. I'm a huge fan of his. There's a lot going on, within and outside the club, and I will tell you, this is a very sensitive topic for me. Yeah, and at this point, I can't help but wonder, be like I say, when you use ritual money, you buy one property, you understand, there's something going on, if you talk them, you understand, you can't point out, okay, this is the problem, or maybe when you are dealing with after effect or repercussion of the ritual, you understand. I think that is what I'm going to liken in that situation too. But see, I'm going to sum up their problem in just one sentence. What they are suffering from right now is years of poor recruitment decision. You understand? Now you can go ahead and say the players are the problem. Well, the players are the byproduct of the recruitment decisions they've been making over years. You can say it's the management. I will tell you the management are one of the people that make decisions when it comes to recruitment. Sure. You can say it's the coach. I will tell you it is from that same department they will choose, okay, this is going to be our next coach. But then the real question should be, we've been changing coaches like boxers over the years. We have never gotten closer to finding what the problem is. Now, the closest we've gotten to was during Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You understand? We were playing something similar to what United have been playing over the years. Right. You understand? But one thing led to another. We left Ole. Ole lost 10 to 11 games. You understand? Do you understand? Or should I say 14, like roughly 20 games in 70 something appearance.
Wow.
That they start Ole. Now, when he sacked Ole, it's like you went back some years. Like you went back to the beginning. You understand? So that is why, as much as I tell people that if Arteta does not win anything this season, sack him, I'm also scared that it might actually push them back or take them back to where they started from. But football is all about risk. Now, going back to Manchester United, talking about their own pitch situation, I would, differ when he said Amorim is the number one problem. You understand?
Okay, briefly, just tell me, who do you think is number? What do you think is number?
We are going to be starting with the players. Do you understand? Let's be realistic. Majority of these players, when we are talking about transition, we are talking about building. Rebuild should not take years when you get some decisions right. Now, if majority of these players that have survived 3-4 coaches are still there, then we've not started any rebuilding. Just like Rashford said. Do you understand? They just keep saying it. Okay, they've started the rebuilding. They've not started anything. You've been changing coaches, but you've not changed majority of these players. Is that money? So look, I'm very young to be going through all this frustration, these pains. You understand? See, when the league was maybe they were on break, you understand? I was doing fine physically, emotionally, mentally. Thank you. But see, this just 6 games into the new season. See, I don't even know what I'm doing. Every weekend is like a torture. So at this point, you need to recommend Manju for people in prison that you should be watching them for punishment.
Wow. So
it's so annoying. So I do not see Ruben Amorim coming back from this situation. But the thing is, football is all about results. You can just be explaining, evidence will go day. So I don't see him even surviving a month. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, leave that toxic relationship today. Like my guy said, during the international break, he was doing fine. Then, they came back, club football came back, and, he's been going through torture, he left, torture, right, and all of that. I have a question for my guys in the studio. And the question is a yes, no answer question. So I'm starting with Kenny, right? I'm starting with Kenny real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a wrong decision to appoint Ruben Amorim? Yes or no?
On hindsight, yes, it was a wrong decision. Yes.
Thank you very much, Habeeb.
Well, I'll say yes. I'll say yes. I mean, at this point, I'll say yes. Yeah.
All right. So, our guys out there, do you think it was a wrong decision to appoint Ruben Amorim? I mean, he was flying high in the Portuguese league. Let's get your thoughts in the comments for sure. We will be watching, reading, and enjoying everything, and you will definitely get feedback from us for sure. We head to Liverpool. Yes, after 5 wins, you feel like there was a very good start to the season. Perfect start, fair enough to Arne Slot and his boys. But the honeymoon is over. Crystal Palace said no, and they defeated Liverpool 2-1 with Edward Nketiah scoring the last kick of the game. I mean, a sucker punch to Liverpool. They got it. They got their own medicine. They got a taste of their own medicine because Liverpool are the kings of late minute goals. I will be discussing what went wrong with Arne Slot and his boys in the game, and also we'll talk a little bit about Mohamed Salah and Alexander Isak. I come back to my boys. I'm starting with Ajibade this time. Arne Slot 5 from the first 5 games. Liverpool 15 points and everything. But Selhurst Park, amazing stadium. Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace said no, you cannot do that here. 2-1, great game. Where did it go wrong? Briefly.
Well, I would say that loss was weeks in making. You understand? I saw it coming. Yeah. Well, as long as a lot of people might not agree with me, I've been seeing Liverpool, getting these late goals for the past couple of weeks. And I said to myself, one thing, a day that they will face a more organized and more balanced team. They were going to find it really, really difficult, and that happened against a Crystal Palace who have been, 18 games unbeaten, their best start to the season, and defensively they are okay. So when the game started, I think Liverpool were not themselves. I mean, they were even lucky. Crystal Palace should have been like 3-4 goals ahead. You understand? But at the end of the day, when they got that goal by Chiesa, I was like, no, you can't end like this. You understand? I was so happy to some extent that they cast their spell on them when that guy scored in 97 minutes ago. So I saw it all coming. So Liverpool should please, we are tired mentally. I'm speaking on behalf of their fans. They are tired winning with this struggle. You understand? Having to wait to the last moment so that they can win the winning game. Of course, as a champion, you have to grind that result once in a while, but you can't keep doing that. You can't rely on that. You understand? So I saw the losing coming, but then I think this is going to be a big lesson for Arne Slot and the squad, and they can actually do better from the next game.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenny. Let's talk about Mohamed Salah. The king. More and all. Yes, it's still early days for sure. Right. But it looks like Mohamed Salah hasn't been the razor sharp Mohamed Salah. A lot of people have made excuses. Some said, oh, Liverpool have, look like every season Liverpool are changing its partners. They've moved from, Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz to getting the likes of, Alexander Isak, Ugo Ekitike, Florian and the likes. So, but for Mohamed Salah, I know he's somebody that you cannot rule out.
Yes.
He cannot rule out. I cannot rule out. But I mean, what do you think about his form so far this season?
I mean, it's clear. All right, shout out to Mo Salah. Top level football, playing in the intense Premier League for over 6 years. His age, he will get tired. I mean, he's a top professional. He trains hard, he works hard, he plays well, very well. You're one of those players that you say, oh, role model. They check themselves, they sleep well, eat well. Look at his physique, he's amazing.
Of
but
course.
guys, there's age, and trust me, age is no longer on his side. And the Premier League is very fast-paced, intense, physical. You look at Mo Salah now, it feels like he's losing his pace a little bit. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Will not take away the fact that he is a top goal scorer. Trust me. When he starts to score, he will continue to score. He won't stop. But I feel like if you ask me, okay, Mo Salah, what's happening? I'll just say, okay, probably maybe the age is telling on him a bit by bit, but doesn't mean Mo Salah won't. I still believe Mo Salah will still be Mo Salah. All right, but probably maybe he's just telling us my time is up in the Premier League. Maybe. The next 2 years, let me go and make money, or next year, let me go and make money in Saudi and just enjoy myself. You understand? But yes, for me, I think the age.
Yeah, the age can be interesting one there. Mohamed Salah definitely has less than 2 years on his contract at Liverpool. So, like Kenny said, he might, just think about getting the box in Saudi League. Before we go, right? I need you guys' thoughts on Alexander Isak's first Premier League start versus Crystal Palace. I mean, the plan was to ease him in because he didn't play games in 3 months. He didn't train actually. So definitely, you need a lot of match games. You need a lot of trainings. You need a lot of program to get up to speed. I mean, there was a report that if he stayed at Newcastle, he was not going to play. There was a program set out for him that he was not going to play until the October international break, after the October international break. But hey, he's back at Liverpool. So briefly, guys, I need you to tell me what are your thoughts about Alexander Isak's first Premier League start. Do you think it wasn't really sharp? Do you think it needs more time? Do you think he did well, considering the fact that he hasn't played in a while?
Well, I believe class is permanent, even though forms might be a little bit temporary. So when you're talking about Alexander Isak, this is a player that has actually proved himself in the Premier League. You can't take anything away from what he has done for a team like Newcastle. You understand? So now when he joined Liverpool, we have a lot of expectations surrounding the move and the controversy surrounding the move. But I have never for once, and I believe majority of people sitting at home, you can't write Alexander Isak off. So I think he's going to get back to his best. He just need to get the playing time, do you understand? Then adapt to the new settings that he finds himself. So it's only a matter of time. It's going to get there.
I mean, I think Habeeb has said a lot of things, but I just want to a little bit talk about something different. But you mentioned it. Age might be a strong word, but I really do not like the idea of having to fight your team before you get the move. I don't like that idea because it slowed a lot of things down. I mean, I'm not putting the blame on Isak. Newcastle too. I'm now speaking about Newcastle and Isak. You don't have to just imagine, early weeks of the window, and then Isak and his big money move to Liverpool. There will be time for him to adapt. This is Liverpool. This is not Newcastle. At Liverpool, Salah might decide not to pass to him. Salah might want to score. The other guys might want to score. But at Newcastle, you understand me? Other guys will just want to pass to Isak. All right. So there he might have it easy. But at Liverpool, he has to adapt. He has to play on the training ground. He has to form, relationship, closeness with these guys, bond, and then first game of the season, Premier League, he might score a trick. Because Liverpool, they are playing brilliant football. See, a lot of things we see, like you said, I love that. Class is permanent, form is just temporary, and that's Isak for you right now. It's just the whole troubles behind the move to Liverpool, and then he's signing for Liverpool. Broke the English record. There's so much pressure. But Isak will come alive. He's a very good guy. Ice cold, amazing goal scorer, scores goals for fun. He will score at Liverpool, but the little issue is that, right, at Liverpool, Gakpo will want to score, Salah wants to score, Vert wants to score, other guys, he's not the main man. But trust me, at some point, he will have to tell them, hey guys, I'm the number 9. I need to score goals, you understand? So hopefully get help from Salah and the likes. But Isak will be back for sure, don't worry.
Yes, thank you so much. Guys, what a point from both of you. Yes, class is permanent for Alexander Isak. Let's get your thoughts on Alexander Isak's first Premier League start for Liverpool Football Club. I mean, he played 83 minutes or thereabouts. Of course, he didn't score a goal, but it was a little bit shaky, sharp at some point. But let's get your thoughts, guys. It's Matchview Sports on all social media platforms. We add to the best team in Manchester. Wow. Who would have thought in 2000, early 2000 that we would be calling Manchester City the best team in Manchester? But hey, it's the reality. We're the best team in Manchester and definitely one of the best teams in the world. I mean, 4 wins, 1 draw in 5 games. Wow. The game versus Arsenal, it was unlike Pep Guardiola. Yes, he recorded his lowest possession in history as a manager of any team. It was below 40% and stuff. But hey, you know, football, sometimes you just have to do everything to get the results. And Arsenal, in all respect, they were the better team going into the game. You know, so we'll be discussing real quick, you know, for Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, their season so far. You know, they looked ordinary against Arsenal, which we can all pardon them for all the things they've done in the Premier League. But hey, Kenny, let's start with you. For Manchester City, I mean, what do you think about them going into the season? Do you think they can win the title?
Yes. I mean, with a straight face, yes. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City always want to win. The Premier League title is there for the win because they are a solid side, amazing players. Hopefully, the big guys can stay healthy. Haaland, you know, Foden is back, firing. And Pep Guardiola is always signing players. He's always bringing in new faces. Even in his backroom staff, he's bringing in quality coaches. So for Pep Guardiola, he will keep fighting. And at the Emirates, right? At the Emirates, oh yeah, Arsenal is they got 1 point. Please tell me, on an normal day they could get the defeat, but then and when Man City lost to Spurs at the Etihad, you know, there was a lot of noise. Oh, is it over for Pep Guardiola? Is that? Trust me, I feel like that was a one-off. If it happened, if they play again tomorrow, Man City will beat Spurs. All right. So for Manchester City, they will keep going. For me, not being a Manchester City fan, one thing I'm happy about is that they beat them this season already. So there won't be anything like the invisible and all of that. You understand me? Yeah. But Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, trust me, even until the final whistle of the entire season, you would not rule them out. You were expected to fight.
Of course, you never rule out Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, obviously. And for Ajibade, you know, let's talk about one man who is a monster when it comes to scoring. I mean, he doesn't care about anything else but score.
We won't stop talking about.
I'm telling you what a record he's had so far. We saw him, you know, score over 50 goals in Champions League. Fewer appearances. He's gone on to do all of that. But hey, after a terrible outing last season by his own standards, his own standard, let's put that out. Erling Haaland, he is back, obviously, almost double figures, and we've never played 8 Premier League games yet. I mean, what do you think about Erling Haaland?
You see, before this week, or should I say week before, I saw a stat that said this season is Premier League worst start to see. This season was Erling Haaland worst start
to the season.
Before we
I think this week or last week, you understand. But now he's back where he belongs. And like I said about Isak, there are some players that this is what they do for a living. They might not have the best first touch, the ability to dribble in tight space and the likes. But when it comes to, you know, putting the puck at the back of the net, they are real beasts. And you can't talk about goals. In the past 5-6 seasons, you will mention Erling Haaland at the top. With the very top. I do not like Manchester City. I hate everything that comes out of them, but you just have to acknowledge greatness when you see that. And Erling Haaland is one of those players. When you see him, he's a fine footballer. And there's one thing he has added to his game these days. And people will say, initially, when it comes to moving ball, you understand, to carry ball on his own, he wasn't that good. But now, when you look at the goal he scored against Arsenal, he carried the ball, moved the ball to the final, and then he scored. So that's one thing about him that has improved. Then talking about Pep Guardiola, I said something last season. I will say it again. Unless Pep, I said it changed or become a little bit dynamic about the way he plays. And I think he got found out last season because of, and then plus the injury to Rodri, and that's what happens when you build your team around one players. I mean, a lot of teams you build your team around a couple of players, but when it's just one sole entity, you're going to have a problem. But then this season he has changed. A lot of things are changed about him now. He's a little bit dynamic. They are now playing counter-attacking football. We saw that against Arsenal. I do not care whether you call it an around football, but at some point you guys know when to sit back. You guys know when to attack. So this season I do not see them winning the league, to be sincere, but I see them doing better than last season.
All right, fantastic one right there. Habeeb, said it doesn't see them winning the league. But hey, guys, do you see Manchester City winning the league? Please, put it out in the comments, and we'll definitely be looking forward to everything you've got to say about the topic so far. I mean, let's move to one part in London, an interesting side. We spoke about them earlier, but we have to speak about them again. That is Crystal Palace. Wow. I mean, Oliver Glasner, when he came, having won the Europa League with Frankfurt, he came to the English Premier League. He did the 3-4-3 system, and everybody were like, "Oh, is he going to last?" I mean, he's gone on to win the FA Cup, the first trophy in their history. He's gone on to win the Community Shield. Now, man, he's got 12 points in the Premier League, 18 games unbeaten, 12 points in the campaign. I mean, do you think he's going to be there for long? I mean, just the manager now. Do you think he's going to be at the helm for long? Because, I mean, the big clubs, there was a time that Bayern came for him and everything, but Crystal Palace had to fend them off and all of that. But do you think he's going to be there for long? I'm going to share that with you guys.
Well, one thing about success is that it makes noise even when you don't want it to do. You understand? And when this man came in, Crystal Palace were at the other side of the table. We call it the second page of the table. They weren't doing that fine, but when he came in, he stabilized everything. And when you look at the way they are playing now, they play with so much confidence. I mean, when you see them playing against the likes of Liverpool, who happens to be the top dog in the league, and they came out and like, okay, we are ready to go. Band for band, you understand? That's what they did against them. And then Liverpool were even lucky, like I said earlier. They should have, gone maybe 3-4 goals ahead of them. But now you are going to ask permit me for going back to Ruben Amorim, please. You are going to ask yourself the question: is he not playing the same system? But then they are playing the same formation, but the system is different. Right. 3 at the back, you understand? 3 at the back for Ruben Amorim, but there are a lot of things that come into play. The personnel. He's not going to be there for long because I can see a lot of top teams, like you said, cycling around him, man. So it's only a matter of time.
All right. Kenny,
I mean,
is he going to be there for long?
No. When I feel like when the time comes, he's going to want to move. As a coach, Crystal Palace, a bigger club. You want to test the water.
Of course.
Let me test myself and let me see.
Sometimes it might be.
I mean, no, the same way Eze said, I dream of Arsenal from Crystal Palace. All right. The same way Eze said, I dream of, Arsenal. Crystal Palace, Arsenal. Yes. Oliver Glasner can wake up one day and say, probably maybe Manchester United or Liverpool or one team. And before you know it, he's their coach. So yes. Hot kick at the moment. People will be looking at him. A lot of directors, a lot of clubs will be trying to reach out to him and say, "Oh, do you want to come to us?" So it depends on if these teams can match his energy, pay him good money, and then sell the project out to him. Is a good option.
Yes, he might actually want to step up at the end of his maybe the Premier League season or thereabout. But hey, congratulations to Oliver Glasner, the manager of Crystal Palace, and also Crystal Palace, 18 games unbeaten, 12 points in the campaign so far. I mean, above so many teams like Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, and the likes. But hey, let's see how far they can go with that. We're moving to the other games that were played over the weekend. Tottenham Wolves, what an interesting game. For the most part of the game, we thought Wolves were going to snatch the 3 points, and it's going to be
huge.
A huge win for Pereira, but Joao Pioneer said no. What a goal. He placed the shot. We call that R2. But hey, this was perfect goal. But Kenny, talk me through the game, Wolves versus Spurs, 1-1. Do you think it was a little bit sad for Wolves, and you think it's well deserved for Tottenham?
Of course, we have to agree that football is a cruel sport. It's just that we love it so much. There's so much passion, there's so much energy, but trust me, there's so much, not bad luck. There's so much, pain for Pereira, the Wolves coach. He's lost so many games. He came back versus in the Carabao Cup versus Everton. He got his first win of the season, and in the Premier League, looking for his first win. 1-0, 90 minutes at Spurs. You just need that win to lift your players. You could see the coach after the game was like, sorry, but the players gave it their all. They gave it, I'm sorry, So I pity him, I feel for him, but that is football and that is the Premier League, Like you said earlier, we all love this late drama. Manchester United fans will call it Fergie time, goals, all of those things. It makes the sport beautiful but also cruel. So for me, I really hope, I think there's something in the manager, all right? It shows his tactical nuance in the last game where he switched the system 4-3-3. You could see different ideas and all of that. So I think there's something in that coach. So I would like him to win more games. So at least so he can get more time, as the coach of Wolves.
All right, let's see how that goes on that side. Another manager who's he got a new job, but he looks under pressure already, and that's none other than Postecoglou. He's not in the second season yet, so expect no trophy. But for Nottingham Forest fans, but Ajibade, I come to you real quick. 4 games. I mean, we saw they lost versus Arsenal. Of course, we gave him that. Burnley played a 1-0 draw. They went to the UEFA Conference League 2-2 versus the GOAT, Anthony Real Betis, and they lost to the newly promoted Sunderland. I saw the game. Granit Xhaka was amazing. But hey, talk to me. What do you think? What do you think went wrong for Nottingham Forest 1? And Postecoglou, do you think he can get this job for a long period of time?
People say that you do not fix things until they are broken. You understand? I think that Forest, they made the mistake, of sacking Nuno. Without, to me, they might have something, at the back end. The reason why they sacked him, but I do not see any reason why they should do that. But they've done that. The game is the game. Now they are suffering from that decision because nothing was broken in that team. They were doing just fine. A free flowing football they were playing. They were joy to watch. Now you brought in a man who luckily. He was lucky enough to get something because he played against a very stupid Manchester United in the final of the Europa League, and peradventure he won it. Then he got the sack. I mean, that was justifiable. I did not see him, taking Tottenham beyond where they were last season. Now, you made another mistake of appointing that kind of manager, and now you're asking yourself, what is going on? I mean, it's quite simple. Angie is not the man for them. I don't even see him surviving the remainder of the half of the season, not to talk of taking them 3 following the end of the season. So whatever they have under their their pillow, the plans they have, they should better get on with it because I don't see him taking them to any serious place.
Get on with it. According to Ajibade, Kenny leads to Bournemouth 2. It looks like there was a lot of deflections in that game. In one game, so many deflections, too many goals. I mean, too many stunners. I mean, for Leeds, great start to the season.
I mean, Leeds are trying, but we know Leeds. At Elland Road, they are always like Superman. They just want
unplayable.
They just want to God bless you. They just want to create that, the fans, eating everywhere, singing. So at the point, I thought Leeds were going to snatch a 3-point, but Bournemouth, amazing team, amazing coach. But for Leeds, I think they will take that 1 point because Leeds' ambition or priority is to stay in the top flight. So this little 1 point, 3 points, it will help them. So for Leeds, just keep going. One advice for Leeds is your games at Elland Road, just win it or draw. Then away you can try and get the point or lose, but then just try and survive over 40 points and then you remain you stay in top flight.
All right, in another game, I'm in Villa Park. Another manager. It looks like almost 10 managers are under pressure this season.
Of course, yeah.
Unai Emery is definitely one. The shaky starts of the season and all of that. But hey, they got a well-deserved victory over Fulham. I mean, Fulham, on the other end, they felt, the referees had 1 or 2 errors, but hey, it's football. All of those things can happen. What's the second half for, Aston Villa? 10 minutes into the second half, less than 10 minutes, they scored 2 goals. Buendia, who got in, and, the other players who stepped up and delivered the performance. Aston Villa versus Fulham, 3-1. Unai Emery, do you think is the right man to lead them going forward? And do you think Aston Villa can actually get that top 8 or top 7 finish this season?
Well, I think they needed that win. I mean, I'm very happy for Unai Emery. He has been struggling, and the likes of Oli Watkins, who scored his first goal in a while. So they needed that win, and of course, so they needed that win coming against the likes of Fulham. It wasn't a bad performance for them. I was happy. I'm still happy for them because one thing I will never take is I don't believe there's anything like a bad manager. I just feel like, okay, maybe the chemistry, the philosophy of the manager doesn't work with that team. But then Emery has proven that last season we saw what he did for them. So I wasn't looking forward to him getting sacked. So I'm really happy for him. And then like your second question, which is to see if he can actually, well, I believe this is going to give them the momentum that they need. So he should be able to turn things around and move on from here.
He should be able to turn things around from Ajibade. We save the best for, the last, and that's definitely at St. James Park. Newcastle United won, Arsenal 2. I mean, wow, what a game. Playing at St. James Park to me is an emotional game. The fans are always on their feet, making noises, just like the Anfield.
One of the hostile environments.
Yes, definitely one of the hostile with their players, trying to play and everything. Votamade got his second goal for Newcastle, a wonderful header, in the first half. And in the second half, Arteta made a lot of attacking substitutions, which paid off. In the last 10 minutes of the game, Arsenal got the winner. 2 headers. The first one was from Merino. Great header into the left corner of the goalkeeper Pope, who had a fantastic game. He would have been man of the match if Arsenal did not score two. And what a goal from Gabriel! Wow, what a finish! The header. Yes, Arsenal, and Kenny said something about Fergie time. Liverpool will say slottage time, scoring late time. But Arteta,
set
say
piece
the header time,
corner kick time.
set piece time.
Set piece time, yeah.
I mean, briefly, this is the final one. Kenny, tell me, what a game. Do you think it was well decided for Arsenal? We're going to talk about the referee situation, but tell me.
I was going to touch on that. In as much as I like to watch football, now it gets to a point in Premier League that we don't understand, the officiating. I mean, Newcastle, Arsenal, we talked about the environment, the old style, stadium. We talked about the performance. Okay, it was good, but then we saw 2 penalty calls, and come on, this thing is penalty. See, when you look at it very well, let's put the rule aside. Enough of the rule. It feels like the rule is too much, or
too complicated.
It's too complicated, and also the rule is ruining the sport. Because
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
So I mean, because we don't. It feels like where's the love? Where's it? This thing we are screaming. Oh, that's a pen. That's a pen. And before we know it, they talk to themselves and they say, oh, according to the rule, it's not a pen. Honestly, I'm not a Newcastle fan or Arsenal fan, but I love watching football. So I enjoyed it as as we probably say an unknown. Should I say unknown fan or neutral? Thank you so much. A neutral fan, but hey, I was seeing things that got me irritated. You understand me? But shout out to Arsenal. We know when it's corner kick time, it's Arsenal time. So good victory for them. It's going to, I think, 3 points at St. James Park will put them, one step closer to the league title.
Yes, definitely. Ajibade, Kenny, spoke about the VAR decision. We hoped and we thought or believed that when the VAR comes in, it's going to help the on-field referee. But now it looks like it's still not the same. And also the rules. Like Kenny mentioned, it's complicated. We don't even understand the rules anymore. It has ruined the game completely. What measures do you think needs to be put in place to kind of adjust this? Because why? The situations from the penalty in the UEFA Champions League, in the Spanish League, it is a pen. Nothing like looking for the rules. If they said this or said that, but the Premier League, what measures needs to be taken to actually help this? It's getting out of hands.
As much as I love the Premier League, I think their officiating, you cannot deny, has been so inconsistent.
Right.
What might be a PK or penalty yesterday won't be a penalty today, and it might actually be half penalty tomorrow. You understand? You can't really say for sure this is what is happening. And like you said, VAR was supposed to come in, or should I say other rules too? They are supposed to come in and make football a better, competition. But at the end of the day, we are not getting what we actually paid for, not what we ordered. You understand? So, but then what I think they can actually do is to please look the officiating, the referee, they have some sort of association. You understand? PGMO and something they call it. So they should please come out and please explain these rules to me, because as much as I love football, sometimes I get lost. I don't even understand what is happening. Today's match, I was shouting for some was it Saliba or Gabriel was on the field. I was saying, okay, that was a penalty. But before you know it, the VAR came and we're like, yeah, no, because of blah 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 blah, it wasn't a penalty. Of course, the same thing too. So they said because the guy did not even look at the game. So whatever it is, they should just come out and explain to us. Okay, teach us like a primary school student, so that we can know. You can't be calling black for us yesterday, then red for us today. It doesn't work like that. And as much as we love this football, when the rules are kind of suffocating the games, then we are gradually going to fall out of love for the game.
Let me give you another one. You said you like when the rules are suffocating, it's irritating.
Of course, I like that one. Don't leave me.
So you like that one too?
I like that one.
I'll give you another one.
Trust me, don't leave me. But I'm sorry, guys, we would have to leave you. But trust me, we're definitely not leaving you guys. Please, you can head out real quick to our social media platform. It's Mesh View Space to get all great content from sports. Definitely, we hope that you had a good time with us on today's episode. It was great, it was amazing. We draw the curtains on today's show. It's Mesh View Space, your game, our lens. And I sign off by saying, love yourself, love your neighbor, and love the game. I'm Taiwo Olatuja. Until we come your way again, salute.